Welcome to Season 2 of Skillcast, the podcast by the London Organisational Skills Development. My name is Nurbanu, and I am your host. I'm thrilled to have you join me on this journey of growth and discovery. Each episode, we're sitting down with incredible guests, think experts, pros, and inspiring go-getters who'll share the stories and skills that fuel this success. Whether you're here to sharpen your own skills, get inspired, or just enjoy some awesome conversations, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
Yeah.
Welcome to Skillcast.
Thank
Today
you.
I'm joined with Ramona. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
So my name is Ramona Varga, and I'm a psychologist. I'm a little bit unique in my field because I started my studies in the University of Pharmacy and Medicine, but I always wanted to be a psychologist. So in the end, I qualified as a psychologist. So I have a unique approach nowadays because I combined the biochemistry, the biology, and the psychology when I have a patient. So if someone, for example, had an anxiety and reach me to get a session, we go through every details of her or his life, because I think the biology is also very important in the mental conditions. So I live in Dubai. I work in Dubai as a psychologist, but I used to work in the UK. But actually I work worldwide because I have online sessions too.
Wow, sounds like you're global. You're a global psychologist. Love it. So where did you study?
I studied in Hungary.
Okay.
And then I continue my study in Dubai. More qualifications like I be the international behavior therapist, and I qualified in Harvard as a nutritionist because this is also important for the mental health. So, and as we working with microbiome testing too, so I thought it's important, this kind of qualifications. And now I'm doing my doctorate degree too. So hopefully I finish soon.
Oh, wow. You've studied so much. And I love that you're taking a holistic approach to well-being and mental health, because you talk about the biology and then you're also talking about the actual nutrition side. So it really is, you're taking that full round. So what's your PhD? What's your doctorate going to be in?
It's about the microbiome connection to the mental health issues, because it's very important. So how I work, a little bit like a teacher, because most of the people stop learning biology in the age of 14. And the internet is full of articles, full of supplements, full of everything. But the people doesn't really understand clearly why they have to take this supplement, why they have to take this, why they have to do the microbiome testing, why it's important. So what I'm doing, I'm teaching how the cells working, first of all, how the brain cells working. So we're going back the time when they stop learning biology, and we go through every steps, because they understand much better, because they have to understand their body first. How does it work? So for example, if they have an anxiety, it's not a bad, I know the symptoms are very bad, but it's a sign. There's a red button inside the brain, which is constantly pushing that something has to be changed in the lifestyle, in the food, in the microbiome, supplements, nutrition's way too, not just only in a psychological way.
So when you refer to, like, say, anxiety, they say that when people are feeling quite anxious, it isn't just in the mind. Your body starts to give off sensations as well. So they feel like tingling sensations in the stomach, tightness. Sometimes they get like butterflies. Is that what you're referring to? Or is there something a bit different?
Yes. For example, if you have an anxiety, obviously it's a sign of lack of something in a biological and a psychological way too. So we have to go through all of their life. Every details matters. What they're eating. So how the cells working, they have to understand what kind of nutrition they need every day. And when we have a conversation, it always turns out that something's not really good in their lifestyle. About exercises, and also how can they express their anger. So we jump into the psychological side, we going to the childhood traumas, also childhood traumas, very important, how the dopamine system or the serotonin system, the happiness hormones working in their brain. So they have to understand how their brain working in the biochemistry way too, and what they can do additionally in the everyday life to improve their mood and the anxiety gone.
So do you do this through just conversation, or do you do any special testing to find
Yes.
information?
I do the testing, and also I have a different method, because in the beginning, if, for example, if someone has a panic attack or anxiety and they don't want to go to shops or malls or they don't want to drive, so we have a session once in a week or twice in a week, but they also have a homework, because I want to see exactly what's happening with them during the day. What did they do? What they didn't do? What they eat? What they don't eat? And I have to understand the whole thing, because once in a week, it's not enough. So they're sending me the homework every day, what's happening with them. And I can see where is the problem. It's much better to understand, because if we talk once in 1 week or once in 2 weeks, it's not enough to find the root of the problem.
So how do you deal with people who want to change but they don't do the homework? How do you audit them and keep track?
So they usually do, because finally they will do, because if they can't see any changes, if they don't do the homework, but I think 98% they do. They do, because it's really, really annoying when you can't go outside, when you can't drive, when you have this anxiety, when you can't sleep. So my task is improve their everyday life, not just in a psychological improving, it's a result. So the root, we have to find the root of the problem, and we have to improve the quality of the sleeping. We have to improve the exercising through the knowledge, how the muscles working and what's happening with our body when we do exercise. Everyone knows that we have to do exercise, but exactly why we need to do exercise. How is connecting to the hormone system. And when they understand, or if someone has addiction in a dopamine system, going in the wrong way, and they have to understand we can substitute with other activities to improve this dopaminergic system, so they don't need that kind of addictive things anymore. But yes, it's a everyday work, the first few weeks. Wow. For sure.
And how long is normally the course for? Like, how long do you normally work with the counseling with each individual client?
Each individual client, it depends, but usually a month is enough, because we need 21 days, according to studies, to get a new habit and stop older bad habits. So it's a month. It's a month.
Oh, wow. And how long have you been doing this work for?
Oh, so many years. Actually, I'm always interested in this area, not so how the biology connecting to the psychology. I'm not saying that psychological problem has just only psychological roots. So I think there is a biological way, because, for example, if your brain cells hungry for the magnesium or something, obviously the brain send you the sign somehow, try to warn you that something's going wrong. And my method is different, because I don't support, to be honest, medications, because if you reduce the symptoms with medication, you just reduce the sign what your brain start to give it, try to give you. And my opinion and my experience that if you start the medication, I'm not saying in every case, just simple case when we can stop the symptoms in an easier way, people start taking medication, and in the end, after a few years, they have a more serious disease, because they didn't give attention the small signs. Many years ago, they started taking medication.
Yeah, because all they're doing, they're suppressing those symptoms. So then they're suppressing those signs rather than actually getting to the root cause or what's actually triggering it. So, for example, you mentioned childhood trauma, and that's probably what the major trigger was. Until they actually work through that and unravel that, they're not able to move forward. So I think, I completely resonate with what you're trying to say and what you're trying to convey. So in terms of years of experience, how many years of experience do you have doing this?
With this new method, it's 5 years now. It's 5 years now.
And prior to that, you were still a psychologist?
Prior to that, yes, it was, since age of 16, 17, I'm in this kind of field because I always, and the mind, obviously, the psychological, how we can create things, how we can attract things. So my method is quite complex, not just the biological, not just, it's a combining.
And you mentioned, were you referring to manifestation sort of thing, attracting things, abundance in your life? Are you along those lines?
Yeah, that's how I have the patients. So for example, if someone wants to lose weight, it's a very complex thing. So first of all, I'm asking them because we are living in the new technology, so we have the Photoshop, everything.
Yes.
So let's create a picture how they want to look like. They have to see what is the goal, because it's not like, I want to lose 5 kilograms, they have to know exactly what they want. And then we jump to the next topic for the lifestyle. We jump to the next topic, why they couldn't lose weight so far. It's a psychological reason, because eating, producing endorphins. But you can produce endorphin with exercise, so you can substitute the activities. Also the microbiome, it's very important, because if your bacteria are not well inside, you can't lose weight. And also the nutrition, everything. So it's 5, 6 different areas. So it took for me 20 years to learn all of these things together.
Oh, wow. You've been learning, researching, and doing so much all together.
Yeah.
What about life? What about your personal life? Do you have family?
Yes, I have a daughter. She's 15 years old.
Just the one daughter?
Yes.
So how did you manage mother life and studying and continuing? Because you've got so much drive, and you mentioned you're doing the doctorate now as well. Like, how do you manage that?
I think I'm very lucky because she is a very good girl since she was born. So she was not a problematic child. And now she's a teenager. But as we're living in Dubai, I think it's a little bit easier. Because they have rules, they have frames, it's easier, I think. And we have a big community from every country. So she speaks 5 languages, by the way.
Oh, now. Wow. I think I'll probably have to move to Dubai and have children there or something.
Yeah, because, it's a lot of weight what the system removed from your shoulder. Because she has, for example, Russian friends, and if they don't speak English, so she learned Russian. She has to learn Arabic in the school. The basic language is English, and we are Hungarian.
Yes.
And also, the second language has to learn as a Spanish. So she just took the Spanish exam last year. So I think it's a good place to live for with children. So how can I manage? We have a frame, we have a routine. So the school bus pick her up, drop off her, the system working very well. So it's easier to manage, not chaos in our life. I think that's the most important.
So you mentioned with the language, is it compulsory for her to learn them, or is this her just self-motivating herself and just?
The Russian was self-motivating for her. The Arabic it's in the school, and English also, and Spanish, and the Hungarian is the mother language. So I think one language was a self-motivation. And she can see, because I speak Italian, so I think we show the example with our life.
Wow, multilingual family.
Yeah, and I also have an interior design and art company in Dubai, because she's painting very well and very nice pictures, but now I'm working with, 20, 30 artists. So, because I need something else in a private life, which gives a little bit different experience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Art is a beautiful way. It's an expressive therapy as well in its own right. Also, so tell me about your journey to Dubai. Like, how did that happen? Why Dubai? You mentioned why Dubai, but how did you end up in Dubai?
It's a part of because of my daughter. She was 4 years old when she decided she wants to be an architect.
She's only 4?
Yes,
okay.
Because this modern world. I bought an iPad for her, not for the internet. There was a program where you can build houses. and design it. And so she started playing with that. So I spent a fortune for this kind of programs because that's what she's doing since the age of 4. So I was thinking, okay, let's see a country where she can see big buildings. And the closest one was Dubai because of the Burj Khalifa, because of the new buildings and the constructions. So, and her birthday is in May. So I took her to there. We have cheap flights by the Wizz Air everywhere, from Budapest, from every European country. So we went to Dubai every May for her birthday because it's a beautiful weather. It's very good for children, very safe. And when I went every year, I visited every year, I just recognized that this is the place where I want to live when she will be a teenager age, when she has this identity thing and when she has to decide what she wants to be, what she wants to study. That was the second option, the UK, obviously. But I was thinking because of the weather, and she still was a child, I think because of the beach, because of the weekend programs, maybe it's more opportunities. So that's how I picked Dubai. I didn't pick forever, but for a few years. I'm sure I like that country.
Yeah, no, I like Dubai. Even when I was growing up as well, Dubai was one of the first international holidays that we actually did. So we did America. In terms of coming to the Middle East, that was the first place we went. And I fell in love with Dubai. And this was back in 2001. So when there was actually no Burj Khalifa or any of these high rises. It was just a beach and it was just the environment, the atmosphere. And I just loved it there. And then after that, every year we always do a few family holidays. And every time we always try to halt in Dubai for 48 hours. Even if it's just 24 hours, we have to go out, just feel the atmosphere, feel the beaches and things.
Yeah.
But how do you, so in terms of, you mentioned you might move again. So how long have you been living in Dubai for?
The last 3 years.
3 years?
3 years,
okay,
yes.
So, and from Hungary you came from?
Yes, I came from Hungary. And then I would like to spend, because obviously my daughter has 4 more years to finish her studies in the high school. So I asked her opinion too, of course. And she would like to stay to end of the school.
It's really nice that as a mother you're taking your daughter's opinion, because normally when your child is a teenager, you find mothers just like, you kind of like the boss, you kind of make the decision on behalf and it's up to you. And the fact that you're taking her opinion, what her needs are, it shows that it's really powerful that you've got that really nice bonding between mother and daughter.
Yes, and yes, we need to ask their opinion sometimes, even if we make the decision, different decision. But overall, when in Dubai, I think you're going there and you can see that, for example, if she goes out with her friends, it's not a problem if she coming back 11 o'clock because I'm calm, because it's safe. So that's the other thing. It's not was her decision, it was our decision. And as a mother, obviously I worry about her, and maybe different cities, I wouldn't feel her that kind of safe environment like in Dubai, but I don't want to keep her in the room or the flat. No, don't go anywhere after 10 o'clock because it's not safe, because this anxiety just increasing and increasing in her. So she's quite independent. So she can come, she can use the bus, she can use the tube, she can catch a taxi, sort herself out in every situation.
Amazing. It's like you're selling Dubai to me right now.
No, I'm just saying that was a conscious decision. Don't get me wrong, we can live anywhere. It's now she's 15 and she speaks English and other languages, so it's not a problem. We usually go to Italy in the summer, and she's perfectly fine in Rome alone. She's going to look around, but yeah, the next few years, I think only the summertime it's quite tough because it's very hot in Dubai, so we are not there.
So maybe travel somewhere.
Yeah. We're going back home. Going back home.
So in Dubai, you find very modern kind of high-rise buildings, lots of lights and things, and which is great for architecture. What about the medieval side, like that you have in Hungary, for example? Is that not something of interest in terms of the traditional side of architecture?
Architecture in Dubai, you mean?
No, as in back home in Hungary, for example.
Yeah, in back home. That's why, yes, because I have an art company, so I have to travel anyway because I work with artists from Italy. So that's how I can show her other cultures and other architectures, because Italy is the perfect thing. And now we are in Cambridge, so this is a beautiful architecture. So she is with me at this moment. So yeah, she can have an opportunity what she wants to do later on. But yes, I think in Dubai, not just modern buildings, especially the interior design, you can see this kind of design, what is around us. But yes, they don't know the technique, I think, exactly how can they create a building like this one. I don't think we can repeat again in life. So yeah, well, Europe is nice.
Well, it sounds like you're really multi-dimensional. I love that how you are balancing your passion project with your work-life balance, and you're absolute holistic, all-rounder.
Yeah.
Do you incorporate any of your art techniques with your therapy sessions as well, as part of your holistic approach that you do with your clients?
I usually suggest, I don't have the time for everything, so when they need, depends on the personality. I have clients who has a deep anger and they can't express. So the painting or art is not there. Yes, sometimes it has, but they have to go for kickboxing to remove this deep anger from themselves. But if someone has the anxiety or other kind of things, the art, it helps a lot. If they start painting or do this kind of, doesn't matter what kind of art, it's helping to just remove the focus of the bad things and focus on just a little bit other things. The art, it helps a lot in therapies.
Amazing. So in time-wise, how do you balance both your passion work project and your actual work, your psychology work? How do you balance
Nowadays, it's not easy because the interior design and art is, we're going to Saudi Arabia in September and Qatar in October, because there are big projects, new hotels come up the next 5-6 years. But after that, I going back just only the psychology sessions, and because that's what I like. And in the psychologists, they usually say that not more than 3-4 sessions per day. I try to keep that, because during the pandemic I started working 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock in the evening, and it's mentally very exhausting. So I have to keep the balance. I have to focus a little bit, not going too far, because I will be exhausted too.
Of course. Well, it was so lovely talking to you and learning so much about your life and your passion projects and how you balance your family life as well, especially the fact that you consider your daughter as a mature adult. And I think that's really beautiful and a really powerful dynamic that you have. So lovely speaking with you. I think the audience will take so much value from this conversation. If they are interested in reaching out to you, how can they do so?
They can find my website, ramonavarga.com, and they can reach me through my email address or phone number.
And on your website, are all your services listed out on there?
Yes.
Amazing. So I'll keep that all in the description of this video.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. And I also have an application, so they can go to download the app, and they can apply for appointment or reach me through them.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.